Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a project share with you. I'm sorry, this is a journal for sale. It's a junk journal for sale. This junk journal is covered in a fabric padded cover, and sandwiched in between the two pieces of fabric is a file folder, so it does have a little bit of sturdiness. On the front is a coffee dyed doily here, and in that I have tucked a little file folder with some goodies inside. And yeah, so this is a junk journal that has 5 signatures, and this will be available for sale in my Etsy shop, and I'll put the link to that down below. Forgive me, this is the first time I'm ever doing a voiceover on a video, so hopefully it goes well. Okay, so on the inside front cover, as you can see, there is two pockets, and those are both fabric pocket. Well, one's crocheted lace fabric, and then the other one's fabric. And then in there I've got some little that's a Project Life card right there, with that's the blue one, and then that's a Tim Holtz cut apart card. And then the first one was like a little bookmark type thing from an old vintage book. Here we have some more tuck spots and things that I did from an old vintage book, and that Robin was fussy cut out of a calendar and pasted to the page there. And here we have a calendar page that on the back side I painted, and then on top of the paint, acrylic paint, I did some gesso. So it's really easily written on top of, or you could do your own art journaling on that, or whatever you'd like there. So here we have some Tim Holtz paper, and then on that I did a little fabric pocket with some little playing cards in there. So those are really cute. They're just kind of hidden away right there. And so then on the right hand side you can see there's another little tuck spot and another calendar page with that same treatment, with the paint and the gesso there. Some more sunsets. So the theme of this book, this journal, is kind of Midwest. That's where I'm from the Midwest. And I just kind of wanted to do something to give a little nod to where I'm from. So there's a lot of I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like an agricultural type feel, but not overly so, I don't think. I think it's just an appreciation for the beautiful sunsets we have here, landscapes, an appreciation for vegetation that we have. So that page right there you saw, well, this one right here is from an Edith Holden book, and I completed this book in June, so I chose all the June pages from that book. Before that, with the little shoe, that's from a magazine from 1888. It's actually a magazine page that's from 1888. It's that old. So here we have some more Project Life cards, and then that's a tag I made from some scrapbook paper, and an image from a vintage book. Here we have, there, I'm showing you a better shot of that magazine page again. So I did reinforce that with some washi tape in the middle there, to make sure that it stayed strong. Here we have a little mini envelope that I made, and then on the inside is just a blank piece of coffee dyed paper. So you can write yourself a fun little note in there or what have you. But yeah, so like I said, it's kind of a shabby chic feel, maybe. I'm not sure what I don't know. It's just things that I love and things that I know, from growing up. And I grew up in the country, and just an appreciation for nature. So that page right there with the little boy, no, that's a girl, doing yard work, and the snail right there, that's a page from a 1920s, it's it's not a coloring book, but basically the blue coloring there is an ink or paint that's already on the page, and all you're supposed to do is add water. So whoever gets this book, just know that if you add water, it will probably create some more ink. That there was a little brad that I added. So throughout the book, there will be little bees here and there, which bees are important. We need to make sure and take care of our bees, and yeah, I wanted to give them a little feature spot throughout the book, just hidden away, tucked away. So here we have some more Project Life cards, kind of talking about home, and there's a tuck spot here. Here I'm showing some washi tape. You'll see some washi that it just has kind of vegetation on it, and there's others that have insects. So kind of really fun washi. Here we have another book page from an Edith Holden book. And that tuck spot there is made from some scrapbooking paper and then a page from an old How to Grow Roses book. So you'll see more pages from that book throughout the journal as well. It's a double tuck spot. So that was a little Tim Holtz cut apart card. And then this is a little library pocket that I made that you can keep there, or you could paste it on another page somewhere else in a journal. And then here's some more little ephemera that I added to it for you to have. So a little Victorian era girl and horse and buggy kind of advertisement. I think those are from Seven Gypsies, if I'm not mistaken. So then on the next page, this is like a brochure. The cover said the Omaha song, and you'll see later that it's actually the song. And then that right there, the honeysuckle rag, that is actual antique music sheet from the 1920s. Here I've taken some Project Life cards and sewn them together to create a little fold out place where you can add some photos, some journaling, whatever you want. Here's a magazine page from, I think it's the Nebraska Land magazine, with some birds and then some more sunsets there. And here we have an envelope full of little goodies. And a skeleton leaf on that cover of that. It's just washi taped on there, so if you wanted to move that, you could do that. Some more Edith Holden pages and another Project Life card. Some collaging in the corners there. Sorry, I'm really kind of speeding through this. When I did the videotape, I really didn't have much time. So hopefully you can get a good idea of what's in the book here in the journal. So some more Tim Holtz, and then there you can see the other half of that Omaha song. Added some trim at the bottom there with some lace trim. Some more Tim Holtz cut apart cards, and then that red piece of paper is just some scrapbook page that was left over that I turned into a little journaling spot. Here's another little envelope. Nothing inside that one. That one's ready for you to add a little treasure into. And I just put that over a little piece of daisy trim that's been sewn to the page, and then added some washi to keep it closed there. Here's some coffee dyed leisure paper with some more handmade tags from, that one's from a vintage book, and then the other is from a scrapbook pad that it was a cut apart that I coffee dyed. And then the other pages, here we have a little collage of some really pretty pictures. I think those might be from Daphne's Diary magazine, I'm not sure. Another bird fussy cutout from a calendar that was pasted on. Some more Edith Holden, and this is an antique linen, not linen, a little handkerchief. So here we have two little boys blowing bubbles. So that's from a vintage book. That right there, The Travelers, that's the back cover of the 1888 magazine. So I just added that as a place to put, paste some pictures on top of or whatever. Here is a page from an actual ledger that was written in, and that one's from like the 1950s. And then I added that little bird round sticker and that little tag there about rummage sales. So that was kind of fun. You'll kind of notice there's a running theme through the rest of through this journal of just purple. It's, I don't think, overwhelming, but it's just kind of a subtle hint to that color. It's my favorite color, so had to add that in there. So put some tuck spots here and there. We got some more Tim Holtz and that jar. And then here we have a page, a little snippet from an antique dictionary that I have. It's about caterpillar. So that's some wallpaper right there, and then that's the other half of that magazine cover from 1888. So lots of places in this journal to add your own unique touches, write, add pictures of whatever you'd like. This again was pulled from a vintage book. It's called The Scripture Cake. And then I added some collaging and images on the backside. So if you want to rewind and do a screenshot of that, you can read that. So here's another Project Life card journaling place that I sewed them together and then sewed that to the page so that you can tuck it away and have some hidden journaling or just a nice little surprise. Oh, what's this? Kind of spot in your journal. And another page from that Rose book, Edith Holden, some more tags, and there we have some more of that washi of the insects. So that one was for the butterfly or dragonfly, excuse me. Lots of sewing in this book. As you can see, there's a lot of trim on the edges. Here's a piece of coffee dyed paper that has had a couple rips, so I added some washi, fabric washi, and then sewed those closed. So I think that gives a lot of character. I like doing that. So again, some more fussy cutting out of magazines and calendars and pasted those in. Here we have another page from the Nebraska Land magazine. We have a yearly occurrence of heron migration in Nebraska, and so that is kind of chronicling that occurrence. And then that page that I'm clipping it onto is from a vintage learning how to paint book, which is really cool. So it has that particular page I pulled out was the subject matter was old red barns. So as you can imagine, another very common theme in the Midwest to see old barns. So here's another tuck spot I made from something I fussy cut out of a magazine. And some more extra scrapbook paper that was left off from another project. So I folded it up and added it as a nice little place to add some journaling. And here's that barn, learning how to paint a barn. And then I sewed that iris on there, so you could tuck something behind it. It's a little bit delicate, so if you do, just know that. There's a little bee. Those I fussy cut out of a vintage book page as well. So there's another honeybee and another fussy cut and pasted onto the page image of a hummingbird. And here we have a fun little envelope that folds out into a heart, and there's another little bee. So made that one from, I think, a Daphne's Diary page. So that was a fun one to make using that paper. It's really pretty. And here you'll see I'm putting this on the wrong page, and then I realize it and fix my mistake. Not that it's a mistake, but oh yeah, that's not supposed to go there. So as you can see, throughout the book, there's a lot of trim that's been added. I'm not taking the time really to show you like literally everything, but hopefully you can kind of see what's in there. I had a lot of fun making this book. There are a lot of pages of this in this book. So here we have a nice little collage, and then I made a pocket from a vintage book page, and in that pocket I have this coffee dyed piece from scrapbook paper, and I added some trim to the top to make it easy to pull that out. Some washi on the side of that page there. And here we have another page from that Rose book, and another journaling spot that I made from a page from a vintage book that kind of was talking about the Victorian era. So that was a fun book to use. You'll be seeing more fun things from that book for sure in my journals to come. So here on this Edith Holden page, I did a little bit of collaging, added some washi at the bottom there, and then at the top there with that beetle, and then add some Tim Holtz words. On the other side, some more washi, and there's some lace trim there with the brad that has a bird inside. And so here we have a really pretty journaling card. It's a hydrangea. I wish my hydrangeas were that color. Mine are white. I can't get them to be any other color than white. I don't think I have the right soil. So, oops. Sorry about that. I guess I hit the camera there. So here we have another page from that book, or the magazine from 1888. Really cool. This is the real thing, guys. It's not a fake. So I'm giving you the real stuff here. And inside this, there's a little hidden tuck spot with some coffee dyed scrapbooking paper. There's another one of those book pages from the children's book from the 20s that if you add water, it might have a color in there. And then showing you a little tuck spot with another hidden little piece of paper and some more tags. And then on this tuck spot, I don't know if I'll show it to you. Yep. So here's another dictionary page that is corn. So another very Midwestern thing. Yeah, lots of nature and flowers and things that we appreciate here in the Midwest. If you're in the agricultural arena. So another page from that Nebraska Land magazine. Those birds were beautiful. The photo was gorgeous. So I just had to make sure and feature that. So here's some scrapbook paper that was coffee dyed, and then just turned that into a little journaling spot. And another collage here with some more dictionary page, some trim, and then that B is some washi. And I think that's some Tim Holtz. They're supposed to look like metal, but they're stickers. And I did actually glue all those down, so they're stuck well. They're not going to come off. So here's another page that I took from that Victorian book, and then as you can see on the side there, I did some interesting sewing patterns with my sewing machine. And then on the back, I have pasted some craft paper. That there, the blue with the little girl silhouette, that's from that vintage book too. I fussy cut that out and put that on there and created that as like a little tuck spot. I love that lace with it too. It kind of makes me think of maybe what her dress would have on it. And it's just sweet. So some more music paper here, and we have another piece of, the other half of that magazine from the 1800s. There's another scrapbook page, and then this was a little scrap from the calendar where I did the gesso and the paint technique. So that's just kind of really pretty. It's tucked away in that little lace pocket there, and that Tim Holtz paper. And I think we're at the end. So here's the back cover, again with the two pockets that are lace and fabric. Another one of those kind of bookmark style handmade things that I made from a vintage book. And there you see that's a vintage, actual vintage bingo card. It's got some age to it. And then the horse page there is from that Learning How to Draw book. You can kind of see there's like some yellow paint. That's actually whoever owned the book must have spilled or got some paint on there. So that's the real thing, guys. That's pretty cool if you ask me. So putting that in there for you. You can do what you'd like with that. You could add pictures to it. You could cut it up and put it in the book somehow. So here we have another page from a calendar where that same treatment again with the paint and the gesso on the back, and you can glue something there or you can use that as writing space. And that's another little page from that little calendar. So this one's a big one. There's a whole lot of places to write. As you can see, the flap just kind of folds over the front, and then you can pull it around the back and then tuck it in. That right there is a locket that you could add a picture in there. I do notice that it kind of comes apart open easily, so if you want to maybe glue that shut once you get it